Rhonda, we can send her grandma, my grandma, to some blessings tonight. They've been with her all day. She was going to have a pacemaker put in. They decided not to, so she was on a respirator. Now she's off, and they're just kind of with her during her last moments. And she's going to go see my grandpa. So Rhonda's been dealing with that, but she wants you guys to know that she is happy for grandma. I am too. It's just time, 91 years old. She's led an amazing life. So, yeah, now she gets to go play and go fishing with grandpa. So it's gonna be fun. So if you guys can send her some love, that would be great. Cause I know she'll be coming home at some point tonight, and going from there. But with that being said, you guys, what an amazing call we just had with corporate. And it's go time. Like it's time. We are no longer in the early stages of, does this thing going to work? Is this going to fly? You guys, we are full court press on making it happen. And one of the things that I really, really love are the companies that are coming on board right now. Amazing, amazing companies. And I had such an amazing call this week with someone very special. I'm going to bring her on. A lot of you know about Mayella, this amazing product out of Australia. Well, I have a special gift for you guys tonight. You're gonna love. This is a surprise. I told you it was gonna be a surprise tonight. I'm gonna bring Amanda on. Hold on one second. All right, everybody. This is Amanda Parker. She is the founder, all the way from Australia. She stayed. Wait, no, she didn't stay up. She just got up, looks this beautiful, and she's on to share her amazing product, which I have right here, the acai berry, and I have my favorite product, which is the spice that smells manly that I put on my face almost 3 times a day. I don't know if I should be doing that, but I actually put it in the morning, afternoon, at night, just because I freaking love the smell. I love the texture. So, Amanda, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You're one of the few vendors that I'm going to be talking about. I know a lot of people. In fact, I saw Nancy. Nancy, I'll have you come on in a second because she did something today. But man, I want you to come on and talk about your amazing product because it is so vibrationally different than any other product that we have on the marketplace. Can you want to share that with us? And hello from across many ponds.
Many ponds, a very big, big pond. Yeah. Wow. It's such a joy to be here with you guys all your tonight, my lunchtime. Yeah, it's such a joy. I love this when we get to connect and just be in person with each other and share the joy around all this. And uh I just love hearing you speak, Tony, in the space of the energy of the products and yeah, because that's what we're all about is like basically, capturing Mother Nature and raiding her pantry and putting it all in containers for you guys to enjoy, whether it's on your skin or whether it's in your diet, in your smoothies or your water. Um, just so you're living your best life and much blessings to grandmother. But this is what it's all about, a really long, healthy, happy life and having those things that are in your day to really optimize your energy and your attitude that comes when you've got good energy. So thank you for bringing us in to say hi to everybody. Where do I start? Well, we've been my career as a holistic practitioner of like 35 years. So it's all about the energy, all about the hands-on, all about connecting with people. And that's what Mayella was born out of, is my knowledge in that space of being in clinic and being in practice with people and helping them on their wellness journeys. And, if something was wrong with their body, talking to them, what it was about. Perhaps it was a bit more than, a sore muscle or maybe there was something going on with their nutrition that wasn't supporting their body well, or the chemicals that were in their lifestyle, or the choices that they were making weren't in their best interests, weren't serving them their best. And that kind of, I was playing around with some products way back in the day, and then when my children were born it really got brought home to me in a really big way around you know taking all the chemicals out of our house and optimizing organic and natural and nutrition, not just eating empty food and not putting things on, my baby's beautiful skin wasn't pure, wasn't clean, and didn't have any toxic chemicals in it. So my mother was the, I guess, the catalyst for bringing Mayella into um, the space that it is in today, where we have like a big range of herbal teas and nutritional blends and organic and natural skincare, that whole 360 degrees of the inside and out wellness journey. And yeah, it's been a real joy to connect with people over the years and hear their stories around how changing out a few things in their day and adding in, say, our alkalized green and go or our wheatgrass capsules has made such a huge difference to their acidity in their body or their digestion or just autoimmune conditions and things like that, like the whole range of things that people are working with today in their life, and in any age group too, like families, like children, um, having, say, a little bit of the alkalized green and go in the yogurt, which I used to do to my kids, which kind of wasn't fair because I'd end up with like green all over their faces, but they didn't know any better and it tasted good, and they were thriving. So and yeah, it's been so fun to kind of inspire people with what is in their power to do in this space of making like really great choices with having a herbal tea instead of that fourth cup of coffee for the day. Um, I guess, what would anyone like to know? What would you like to know about Mayella? Because I can talk a lot around like what how we make the products, what goes into the formulations. If you want me to sort of share a little bit around that, or
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, you guys just raise your hand too. If you have any questions about the product, it's really interesting how, Amanda's actually with us and talking about this because you guys, we all are in this frequency, this vibration, right? We all want to do the best that we possibly can. We all are looking and discovering our best version of ourselves, and everything that we expose ourselves to enables us to do that. And Amanda, what I love about your product is for those that have ordered the product, you know what I'm talking about. It's just energetically, it just feels different. And then when you know the amount of love and energy and frequency that you put into this, the care and the attention to make sure these ingredients are the purest that we can possibly have that you found. It just, this product is just, it's just amazing. And this is what I will pay a little bit extra for, is to make sure that this little vessel that I'm lugging around everywhere is got the right fuel in it. And your product definitely has that. So I know Amy has a question. Amy, do you want to come on and ask your question real quick?
Yes, I was wondering if the products are available in Canada.
we do ship to Canada, especially now that the postal strike is off. It was a bit chaotic, but yes, we are shipping to Canada. Our wheatgrass are a hot favorite up there as a as a point of interest, but yeah, we do ship to Canada, no problem.
Yeah, and I love the wheatgrass. I love that one as well. You want to talk about the formulation? Because I know you and I got to talk about it a little bit this past week, but people don't really understand how much like um, loving energy, let's put it that, high frequency that you put into these products.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's like having an extended family. Like I've got this thing on my wall that says there's always room for one more plant. And I think, with I just have a love affair with nature and how much she has to offer with the bounty that's in, every plant. And our herbal teas, for example, like, they just really are, I don't know if you can see, they just, it's all plants. Oh, and the smell is amazing. So with the formulations, as I said, it's a reflection of my career in the industry of health and wellness and nutrition. But so there's the science aspect to it, and my learnings around how the body functions and how it thrives. But when I'm working with formulating, it's basically a channeling process. Like I do a lot of meditation, and I have an idea around what I want a product to achieve. And then I just kind of go into a little bit of a dialogue with myself or my higher self. And I feel like, I have, you know, maybe a few ancestors coming through there and just giving me little whispers and things like that. And particularly now my mum's over there as well, having a great time. I feel like that side of things has gone up a big dial, but it's definitely a lot around a very intuitive process of what ingredients are going to optimize each other. And when I go through the process of testing the product and to see what it's about, it always blows me away how amazing it is and how the ingredients complement each other. Because I will continue to do the research once I have the formulation and have tested it. I'll continue to do the research around that space. And it's just like such an incredible affirmation to go, yes, that is meant to go with that. And I did not intentionally know that this was going to happen when those ingredients got together. But I'm so glad that that's what came through, and this is what this is doing. It's really quite a beautiful process when you talk around. I love that you talk around energy and you talk around honoring your vessel, because I think um, it's not it's so much easier when we take a lot of the rubbish out of our, or like a lot of the extras out of our day, and we bring things back to the basics. And things like grasses, like I had a person say to me once, but isn't alfalfa and barley wheatgrass? They're just grass, isn't it? And I said, yeah, it's grass, but it's the young shoots. It's before the gluten's formed. It's nutrient dense. It's in the peak of its growth cycle. And in those little blades of grass, as incredible profiles of trace minerals, antioxidants, enzymes, fiber that just help your body to thrive. And they kind of looked at me and went, okay. And you could see they were forming a new relationship with, the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I love,
exciting.
I love it. See, you guys, I know everybody's kind of smiling because we don't, when we buy something off the shelf, like in an Amazon or whatever, you guys, this, you have to understand something. This is not what happens when you buy from like department stores and things like that. You don't get the attention. You don't get the, um, the frequency of what this is. So, man, I'm just so grateful for you. And I want to share you guys real quick. I want to show you my screen because I
Mm.
do have the bundle up. Can you guys see my screen there, the bundle? So, Nick was talking about the bundles, and this is a bunch of goodness to try something of everything. And, maybe, man, you can maybe share like as a minimum. I know the wheatgrass is very important. Like, is there something that we should definitely try that, is kind of like I don't know, your most, I don't want to say favorite because they're your kids, but something that you say, oh, you got it. If you've never done this, you should probably take this product.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like you said, Tony, it's kind of hard to pick one out of the bunch, but I would probably say that the wheatgrass is one of the easiest ones you can possibly take because it's a capsule. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
just take it with water. You can take it any time of the day or night. Boom, done. The alkalized green and go would probably be my next choice, which is in that little green container there.
yep,
That is just the bomb with alkalizing your system, getting rid of inflammation, dropping acidity, helping to stimulate digestion with the lemon and ginger that's in there, and also the spirulina and the chlorella add so much density with the chlorophyll, which helps to cleanse the blood and to uh, oxygenate the blood as well. And again, you're just flushing out all your organs, which means that everything starts to, like, your filters are clean. Your body starts to look more like a clear flowing river rather than, that muddy puddle.
yeah.
Um, that would be one of the best ones to kind of start with just kickstarting your health and wellness and just starting to get that detox process happening and some energy coming into your day. That sparkle. It's also really great fiber for gut health. It's very fine. It doesn't taste like a lot. You can add it into water. You can add it into coconut water. Throw it in your smoothie. You can add it to anything else that you're already doing, and it's only going to optimize what you're already doing, but add so much more nutrition. Yeah.
And you play a nice bonus too. You guys get $20 bonus on that, and then $60 goes into the community bonus. So that's pretty hefty for all the things that you get coming all the way from Australia. So I would highly recommend. Nancy, I want to bring you on real quick because Nancy did an unboxing today, which I was like, oh my gosh. So I want to bring Nancy on real quick. Nancy, how'd it go today?
Yes,
How'd it go today?
it was fabulous. The first time I had ordered the Beauty and Brain tea, and then I had ordered the other Metamatcha, which the first time I ordered, it was seeming like it was forever that I was not receiving it. And I emailed, and she ended up emailing me and told me, it's on the way. Let me know when it's there, and tag me and whenever you unbox and let me know you received it. So I did, and I thank you so much for sharing and letting me know it's on the way. And today, whenever I received my other order, which was the wheatgrass pills, the capsules, I was excited because I love to go and actually get the fresh wheatgrass. But the time or two, whenever we've gone to go and get one at the shop, at the at the shake store, what happens is either the grass is moldy or they have run out. It's like, oh my goodness, how can that be? It's like I love it, but I don't want to be compromising my health with it. So whenever I received my wheatgrass capsules, I was excited because I know I could take it daily and not have to worry about it. Is it moldy? Is it bad? And I love it. Thank you so much. And I love the product. It just helps us a while.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. All right. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for spending your lunch with us and sharing your story. If there's anything else that they need, you can reach out to her directly on our Shopee site. Just hit contact. If you have any additional questions, you can find her. Just go to her site that's on Shopee and hit contact, and she'll be more than happy to respond to you with any other questions you may or may not have. If you have any issues that you're dealing with that are in your tissues that you want to maybe get some guidance on, she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff. So, Amanda, I'm just going to tell you publicly, I love you, and I thank you for all you're doing, and I can't wait to work with you on future projects.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity just to drop in and say hi and be here live. It like you always say, Tony, it's all about the energy, and it just feels amazing just to connect in person.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Love
you,
you.
everybody. Everybody say goodbye. You can hang out if you want to. All right.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to bring another special guest on, and I have to tell you, again, when you are in the space of goodness, good things happen. And if you're in a negative space, negative things happen. And this gentleman was someone that I was led to, and I have so much respect for him. And not only is he a wealth of knowledge, which you guys will hear, but I encourage you to take notes because he comes at you. And I've been talking about this product, NuCalm, and again, without overhyping it, guys, because there's just a lot of stuff that I get excited about. This product has been a game changer for me for the last almost 3 months now. I've been doing it every day, every night for 3 months. Everything has shifted for me, like blockages, creativity, like coming through the roof. The things I'm creating behind the scenes that you guys will soon see is all because of something has been lifted. And it's because my brain is now functioning the way it should be. I'm sleeping better than I've ever slept. I have more energy. I take timeouts and love on myself, and I use the product during the day. But I want to bring on the CEO and founder of NuCalm. This is such a treat, you guys. My buddy, Mr. Jim Poole, who is one of the busiest guys that I know, but he's always ready. And I know because he's a product of this amazing product. So, Jim, I want to have you come on, say hi. And they're tired of hearing about this product from me because I'm all about you just got to do it. I knew you're going to say the same thing, but why is this product so different? And how can we share this without selling, but how can we share this in a world that's convoluted with apps and YouTube videos and stuff? How can we make sure that people understand this thing is standalone, the best product for humanity to get an upgrade. Hi, Jim.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. All right. So happy President's Day Monday. Woo woo. We've got Coral, we got Nancy, we got Melissa, we got Chris, we got Yaz, we got Amy. We've got Shelly and Jenna. Dr. Shelly. We have iPhone 717 and Maria. Hang on, wait. We got some other people too. We've got Keisha. Everybody, it's a pleasure to be here. So let's start with a little reality. I think it would not be overextension to say the human race is kind of in a crisis right now. In fact, when I lecture, I typically say, and it's kind of a little tongue twister, the human race appears to be in a race to erase the human race. It kind of sucks, but I would challenge anybody to tell me that that's wrong. A lot of reasons for it: environmental toxins, geopolitics, media, fear mongering, metabolic acidosis from our food supply, stress, you name it, we got it. And 35 years ago, a brilliant neuroscientist, quantum physicist, just a genius amongst geniuses, went on a quest to find a natural method to allow humans the capability to downregulate their stress without drugs. So if we go back to the dawn of humankind, knuckle-dragging cave walkers, since the dawn of humankind, we humans, for all of our amazing complexity in our brain, we're rather pedantic in how we take care of our brain wave and state. What does that mean? That means when we're low on energy, we'll lean on Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, espresso, Red Bull, Monster Energy, you name it. In psychic pain, many people have a glass of wine, a shot of whiskey. Some people engage in recreational drugs to get out of psychic pain. Anti-anxiety, antidepressants, sleeping pills. You're starting to get the idea. We humans often rely on external stimulation to regulate up or down the frequency of our brain. We're not even aware that we do this. It's just commonplace that we live like this. And it is also exercise, and it's oxytocin, and it's hugs, and it's intimacy. Everything we do is changing our state. Well, we all operate in the same frequency range. Did you know that? Every single human on Earth oscillates in a frequency range of 41 hertz, and there's 5 categories. Delta, theta, and alpha are slower waveforms, and those are in sleep. Beta and gamma are faster acting frequencies, and it's all related to frequency, state of mind, frequency, breath. So as humans, there's a lot we don't know about our brain, and there's a lot we're not told about our brain, which is really quite bizarre to me, because it's our operating system. It's how we're going to make our way through this life. Shouldn't we know about it? So 2 quick aspects here. Number 1, we have an amygdala and a primordial midbrain. The circuitry of this amygdala is incredible. Millions of years of neuronal circuitry built the reptile part of our brain. And this amygdala is kind of the epicenter of our autonomic nervous system. Our autonomic nervous system, if you remember back from 10th grade biology, governs a lot of our autonomic activities. Our heart rate, our breath, our respiration, our digestion. But it also governs fight, flight, or freeze, our ability to stay alive when we're in mortal danger, or we just fear that we're in danger. And kind of our psychic energy, depression, fear, stress, worry, agitation, impatience, etc. So this part of our brain is managed by the amygdala here. It's an almond-shaped piece in our midbrain. The other aspect of our brain that's really important is our forehead, our prefrontal and frontal cortex. Now, this part of our brain separates us from primates, and it's about 4 million years of neuronal circuitry in evolutionary neuropsychobiology. All right. So in this part of our brain is our patience, our presence. Okay. Our executive functioning, our logic, our decision making, our ability to communicate, and our emotional regulation. This is who we are. This is the fear center. And here's the challenge. The currency of the human brain is not time. It's not money. It's not attention. The currency of the human brain is oxygen. And one of the challenges we have as humans is that the amygdala in the reptile part of our brain has a stronger architecture, has a greater history, and has a more sophisticated approach of how it manages or steals resources from our forehead. So you'll know that when you are in a stressed response, Your frequency is faster. Your breath is shallow. You're not responsive to stress. You're reactive. You're easily triggered. You're impatient. You're agitated. You're overwhelmed. You're distracted because you're not getting oxygen here. So the challenge, and where 3,500 years ago in Asia, they started figuring out meditation, is to redistribute oxygen-rich red blood from the amygdala to here. So that's why we do mindfulness practices. The physiological benefits of yoga, Tai Chi, Wim Hof breathing, or meditation is to distribute oxygen-rich red blood to your frontal and prefrontal cortex. And when it is there, we have the capability of being responsive. It doesn't change the stress that comes at us. It changes how we interpret that stress and respond to it as opposed to react. So there are two ways to manage the human brain that don't involve drugs and alcohol and caffeine. And those two ways are visual stimulation, called frequency following response. So you're following a frequency to elicit a response. Now, about 35% of the human population can avoid this management, probably because their amygdala and their locus of control is too powerful. We can't override that. The other way to trick the human brain is through the auditory motor cortex. So you can present the brain with a signal through your ears that your brain synchronizes to, and we can either, like a thermostat, old school thermostat, we can either slow down your frequency or increase it. And that's what we do. So we are a neuroscience company. We've been around for 35 years. When I say neuroscience company, I mean it. We've gone through the FDA. We were an FDA Class 3 highly regulated medical device. We went through Health Canada. We went through military approval. We went through NSS certified for sport. We have 52 of the world's leading academicians, scientists, and doctors on our medical advisory board. We have clinical studies. We have peer-reviewed journal articles. We also have 2 patents. One was done after 5 years of research at NASA and Harvard, studying stage 4 cancer versus the Chicago Blackhawks. And interestingly enough, you learn the most from the extremes. The NuCalm system had the same physiological impact on stage 4 metastatic cancer as it did a professional athlete. So it doesn't matter who you are. This is simply math and physics. What we've done is we've created a software. This software is over 1 gigabyte of information, and it's complex. There's a nonlinear oscillating algorithm. There's a pitch and frequency mathematical matrix. There's a lot of stuff in here because we're not only going to trick your brain, we're also going to manage the reticular activating system of your mind. We put music over this so that we create a nice experience for you, okay? And here's what's cool. Once you put headphones on and you press start, we take you somewhere. And the mobile app is how we deliver this. So 4 years ago, we successfully transitioned from a complicated 4-component, $6,000 FDA Class C medical device to a mobile app. We went from 1 product called Rescue to 6 products. We spent 32 years inventing, refining, clinically validating, proving, and using this method to elicit a state change by regulating your frequency. So we currently have 6 products on 1 mobile app. It's an embarrassment of riches. The 5 categories of your brain. Delta, we have a product called Deep Sleep. With a speaker in your bedroom, we put you to sleep and we keep you asleep. Then we have Rescue and Power Nap that take your brain to 4 hertz, the deepest form of theta, which allows for vagal tonality. It allows for parasympathetic nervous system dominance and allows for you to restore on a cellular level. This is the restorative aspect of sleep, and it's also commensurate with meditating monks can bring their brain wave function to theta. And that's really been our key therapy. Then we have one called Flow State, which takes you to 7.83 hertz, which happens to be the Schumann resonance of the Earth's magnetic rotation, and it's also the frequency of the human body cavity. This is the intersection of alpha and theta, and is synonymous with creativity. Then we get into the faster acting frequencies. 18.4 hertz is the learning zone. We're not even taught this. So think back in your life how many hours you wasted trying to learn something when your frequency was too fast. You were anxious, you were stressed, you were worried, you were distracted, you were overwhelmed, or your frequency was too slow and you were tired and mentally lethargic. Wasted energy because you're not learning. when your frequency is not in this state. 15 to 20 hertz is the learning zone. And in that state, you're distraction free. You can encode new information, consolidate it to memory, and you actually learn. So there's a product called Focus. You put headphones on, press start. We take it 18.4 hertz, and within about 2 minutes, you're intentionally in one single thought pattern. It's amazing. And then we have something called Ignite. Ignite is for anyone who wants to work out, anyone's going on stage, or just needs to amplify to get to a state of absolute certainty where your physical, emotional, and spiritual energy is on point. I mean, you're not going to make a mistake. That's called Ignite. And interestingly enough, in 2016, we began working with Ignite. It's 41 hertz frequency, which is the fastest brainwave frequency, high intensity, mistake free focus. And from 2016 to 2021, we had 998 Special Forces operators, professional athletes signed an NDA, and they had confidential access to this product. No public use of this product for more than 5 years. In 2017, Tony Robbins and I trained the Washington Capitals together. We took that training, put it onto our physics, and put that in the app. It's in the app in the Ignite product. And then the next year we had so much fun, we trained the Golden State Warriors in a hotel for 5 hours and built another track. So on the app, you'll see 4 collaborations with Tony Robbins. So if you like Tony, it's right there. You see gratitude, certainty, priming with TR, and priming plus with TR. So there's a lot of cool things we can do. And here's the coolest piece. We're all human. We think this fallacy that we're unique, our problems are unique, how we live is unique, and it couldn't be further from the truth. The only thing that's unique when it comes to stress is your stressors. Your family, your epigenetics, the things around you that create stress for you are unique to you. But the physiology of the stress response, the central nervous system pinging the amygdala activating the HPA axis, cortisol, catecholamines flooding your body, your blood supply going from your extremities to your visceral organs, your heart rate going faster, your breath getting shallow. It's identical for every human being on this earth. Our brains are made of the same parts. We all have an amygdala. We all have a prefrontal and frontal cortex. We all have an HPA axis. And we don't know this. And a lot of times we struggle or we feel isolated or feel like, wow, this is really bad. Well, as we get older and we get wiser, we know life is cyclical. We know everything kind of vibrates. We know we're never the same at any moment in time. But we also know we're never as good as we think we are, and we're never as bad as we think we are. So this is a technology that is profound. We've done amazing things for people for 16 years. For 13 of them, we were exclusive. The Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, the Border Patrol, pilots, 78 professional sports teams, doctors, cancer patients. Some of the best work we do is with stage 4 cancer. And if you want to know just how powerful physics can be, this is a mind bender. I know it's 9:36 on a random Monday in February, but we've done over 2,600,000 surgical procedures replacing general anesthesia with people in a hospital room, cold, in an operatory, being cut open, listening to rescue with headphones, wearing an eye mask. That's where we started. That's where all the science was proven. That's where all our patent work happened. We took that methodology and said, shit, if we can take anybody to 4 hertz and hold them there, doesn't matter who you are, then wow, we could probably take you to sleep. We could probably take you to 7.83 hertz. We can probably take you to 18.4 hertz. We can probably take you to 41 hertz. So from 2016 to present, all that work happened. 32 years of scientific discovery. We mapped the entirety of your brainwave function. We built 6 products to help you regulate. So think about this. You could literally today, if you wanted, get the NuCalm mobile app and a headphone and an eye mask. And then on the other side of the table, your kitchen table, put your caffeine, your Red Bull, your energy drinks, your alcohol, your recreational drugs, your pharmaceuticals, your antidepressants, your anti-anxiety, and your sleeping pills, and you can throw them in the trash because you don't need them anymore. Simply with physics, using your ears and your auditory motor cortex, we can regulate your brainwave function up or down. And we do it with a specificity, a reliability, and a safety that's never been done before. You don't get awarded patents like balancing the health of the human autonomic nervous system, which was issued to us in 2015, or the patent for a method used to elicit a state change in the human brain without tremendous, irrefutable quantified evidence that showcases never before this ever existed on Earth, and the data proves what we stated to be true. So, what we have for you, ladies and gentlemen, is novel. It's cool, but it's also proven incredible. You don't work with the Department of Defense, Navy SEALs, Special Forces operations for 13 years if it hasn't been vetted, tested ad nauseum. And the military uses this for expedited recovery without drugs to put that operator into a state of absolute certainty and the ability to operate in a nanosecond when life and death may mean something, and they do it with ease, despite acclimation, despite malnourishment, despite, sleep, fatigue. What doesn't matter. They simply just put NuCalm on for 20 minutes, boom, they're ready to go, and they go do their job. So we have taken this product to a mobile app, to a monthly subscription, and now you have access to what used to be exclusively available to a select few people in the world. And it's easy. That's what I like most about it. I can talk to you guys all day about applied neuropsychobiology. I've done about 500 CME lectures. It's fun. It's intriguing. It's the brain. You'll never get bored with it. But in reality, it has to be easy if humans are going to adopt anything. So the beauty of what we've done is less on the brilliance of the neuroscience and more on the brilliance of the social psychology. We brought to you patented, clinically proven neuroscience into the form of a mobile app. Not because we're an app company, because we're not, but to make this easy so that we can adopt this and be better humans. So there you go, Tony.
I'm smiling because I know the amount of work that has gone into this, the amount of research, the amount of that, and you can't deny the science and everything you're saying. I've been trying to articulate to people my whole life, like, how to manage, this crazy thing called this brain. And you've got this packaged up so nicely. And you said it, you don't have to think about this. I think people try to overthink it. They try to troubleshoot things. Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Should I listen for 5 minutes? Should I listen for 20? Can you help us? Because what I've noticed with me is my consistency, Jim, has put me in another space with regards to the amount, like the focus I'm able to get done. Like when I sit down on my computer and I put on focus and I just put like 120 minutes on, like I know exactly what you're talking about, this flow state that I feel. And I finish my project and I'm like, where the heck did that all come from? Like I've never had that ability to do that. I always get sidetracked and distracted. Now, so is there anything with regards to the consistency of the product, right? Oh, I just do it on Tuesdays, or I do it on, like, is there study that you've seen that say, hey, when people do it daily, your brain gets up leveled, or it gets an upgrade, or it gets smarter? Like, I don't know. Is it
It's
possible?
it's quite intuitive. So stress is going to come at us every day, right?
Yeah.
If you put your calendar, March 7th to March 14th, it doesn't say stress is taking a vacation to Spain, does it?
No.
No, because it's coming at us every day. And we're firing on, there's so many things against us, the environmental toxins, the 5G, the food, everything is really against our ability to regulate our brainwave function. That's all it's about. When we're in a stressed state, if someone says, "Hey, Tony, you having a bad day?" You don't say, "You're right. I need to breathe and count to 10, four in my nostril, hold for two, and
Yeah.
exhale for four." No, you say, "I'm going to kill you."
Yeah.
It's all related.
Yeah.
Listen, it's all related. So physically, just think about this. When you're in a stressed response, an agitated response, an impatient response, you're having a shitty day, your frequency is going too fast. That's all that's happening, ladies and gentlemen. But to get your frequency to stop, the amygdala is really, really good at doing its job. It loves to work. One of the ironies of our brain physiology is that little almond, this little son of a bitch, is a workaholic.
Mm.
It loves to work. So you'll know. Say you start your day and you're having a bad day and you're worried about something, and you cycle through and you actually solve that worry. Well, lo and behold, your amygdala has something for you to worry about again.
Mm.
So it just cycles through that. That's its food supply, is worry. And we all know that if you have anxiety or you're prone to anxiety, it doesn't matter what you say, you can't talk yourself out of it because there's no oxygen here to your prefrontal cortex, which allows you for rational thought. So on a daily basis, if you were to use rescue, which is the main therapy, we
Yeah.
recommend that for cancer patients, neurodegenerative disease, complex trauma, addiction, high performing athletes, pilots. It doesn't matter who you are. You'll see our recipe always starts foundation with managing stress. The more that you do this, the cumulative benefit is incredible. It's like building your resilience tank. You can actually add to your piggy bank. So the more that you do rescue, the more you're going to notice you're not easily sabotaged. The things that normally would agitate you don't. The things that normally would trigger you don't. You see something, you're like, wow, this normally would piss me off. It doesn't. Why? Because you are distributing oxygen rich red blood here. So when you do rescue during the day, Tony, I use it every day. I use it as a performance tool. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm 56 years old. I run a global neuroscience company. I travel about 300 days a year. I've got 3 daughters, been with my wife for 32 years. I have a lot of reasons to be stressed. I'm not using it for longevity. I'm not using it for my own personal health. I'm using it to perform better. So every day I kind of get to have 2 days in one. I get up around 5 o'clock. I'm a morning person. I do 10 or 15 Zooms. I got international business, whatever. Around 3 or 4, when I have that natural dull, my energy kind of stops and I'm like, shit, I don't want to be on the next couple calls. I always have 30 minutes there. I go in my bed, headphone on, eye mask, press start on a rescue track. I bake. Most of the time I fall asleep. I'm not supposed to fall asleep, but I do. And then when I get up, I'm like, wow, I feel amazing. Any little thing that was agitating me is gone. I don't remember what it was. And I just feel on point. I feel present and I feel capable of people know presence. When you speak to me, Tony, we've spoken a lot. There's no other thought in my head. I don't, what I used to call the itty bitty shitty committee, that committee behind everybody's eyes that has like 5 conversations going on all the time.
Yep.
I don't have that. So the more that you do rescue, the more present in the moment without judgment you'll become. When we become present in the moment without judgment, it does two things that are really important. One, it stops our expectation. Expectation creates a lot of pressure. Pressure creates more expectation. More expectation creates a behavioral change in you because there's a fallacy where you thought you could control the outcome of a business meeting, a board meeting, and then when things start not going your way, you can actually feel your heart rate go up and your breath gets shallow and you start to get agitated and your face might get red and you're like, ugh. Well, how the hell does everybody else know what your expectation was? They don't. So when you're present in the moment without judgment, I told you this, Tony.
Yep.
I prepare for nothing. I show up for everything. It allows me to live present. I can be a participant in my life, not a spectator. I don't think about the future and I don't ruminate on the past. The only time I do that is when I have annual stockholder meetings or board meetings where I'm forced to kind of look at the last quarter. So every day you want to do rescue and then you add deep sleep to the recipe. Sleep is profoundly plaguing all of humanity. We don't know enough about sleep to know that the cause and effect is stress management. If you're not sleeping well, unless you have obstructive sleep apnea and there's an airway obstruction, which is physiological, stress is the reason you're not sleeping well. So we have solved sleep, but it's not direct. We've solved sleep by solving your stress. So if you do rescue during the day, give yourself 20 minutes. I know you have 1/72nd of the day to give to yourself, even if you say, hey, this is so that I can perform better. And then at night with a speaker in your bedroom, it took us 9 years to invent deep sleep because we didn't want you to have to wear a headphone. Speaker in your bedroom, you press play on deep sleep. That combination will do several things. One, it'll lower your inflammation and lactic acid. Two, it'll increase your resilience. And three, it'll just make you a better human being. When we're not impatient, agitated, easily irritable, and all those things that we don't like being, life is better. Our partners know it, our kids know it, our parents know it, our employees know it, our employers know it. Everybody can feel that energy. And we know this. Like you said, everything's energy. You
Mm-hmm.
resonate off energy, you resonate off voice, you resonate off people looking at you, entering a room. So those are the core elements. On the ass kicking, motivation, entrepreneurial spirit, go get them every day. You're climbing that mountain. Focus and ignite are tools that are just exceptional.
Yeah.
And you don't work with the caliber of humans that we work with if the product doesn't work. You don't work with the best athletes in the world. What do you think they're listening to with headphones on when they're walking in the arena? They're not listening to rap and Celine Dion. They're listening to Ignite. We've built it for them, and we've been serving them for like 9 years with the product. In fact, Tony knows this, but you guys, I'll tease you. Uh, Last month, we launched a specific confidential product
Oh,
only for the FBI hostage rescue team.
oh, geez.
The hostage rescue team is the elite extraction force in the world. There's 56 operators, mobility and tactical. So it's complex conflict resolution, extraction of hostages, or assassination of perpetrators. So on the bottom of my app and 56 operators from the United States FBI Quantico, they have this confidential track, the elite operator. You click on it, it tells you what you shouldn't do and should do. And then they have three tracks: Viking, Warrior, and Absolute Certainty. So, en route to extract a hostage in their comms, in their in earbuds, they're listening to that to get to a level where when you're in a high stress situation like that, if you're insecure, confused, your decision making isn't clear, concise, and fast, you're dead. So that's how cool the activity part of this is. So I know you're turned on by Ignite and Focus, and you should be,
Mhm.
because when you elevate your brainwave frequency in that state, Focus cleans out distraction. Ignite obliterates distraction.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
the fact is, the human brain can get into a state of learning between 15 and 20 hertz. It's called the Pomodoro technique, but it can only stay in that state for about 20 minutes at a time before it starts thinking about stuff because the amygdala gets bored. It's like, wait a second, Tony, what about this you didn't do? And what about dinner? And what about taking out the trash? What? I don't want to think about that stuff. So when you put focus on, it doesn't allow for distraction. In fact, you'll also notice it actually makes you feel good. It's like a mood enhancer. There's no room for the gibberish. The squirrel, exactly. There's no room for squirrel.
Yeah.
Focus, there's no room for squirrel. So it does sound too good to be true. Trust me. My background was in private equity Wall Street banking. I ran 49 companies for Wall Street banks. In God we trust, everybody else bring data. So when I first heard about this, I was like, this scientist either on crystal meth or he just landed from Star Trek. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't believe anything I'm hearing until I flew down to Texas and tried it. And then we whiteboarded the science. And then I met with scientists from Harvard and NASA and all the stuff we did. And I said, okay, seems unbelievable to me. But the reality is, it's even better than it sounds. So I appreciate Tony bringing the opportunity here for me to provide some high level education. As you will see on the site, on the Shopley site,
Yep.
there's a lot of video assets, there's a lot of training. But essentially, what I've learned over 16 years of helping humanity really doesn't matter how it works. You can learn that afterwards. This is an experience. And the beauty of the strength of the product, it has a specificity and reliability that I've never seen before. It literally just takes you there. It's math and physics. I did an interview recently and said, wow, this sounds like voodoo. I laughed as it couldn't be further from the truth. This is fundamental math and physics. That's all this is. This is fundamental science. Because it sounds too good to be true doesn't mean it's not. And what's kind of ironic is we use sound to deliver science. So
Yeah, I love it. Anybody have any questions? I know, Amy, you got your hand up. Does anybody else have any questions? Just raise your hand. Amy, go ahead real quick. If you got a question.
Yeah, does it work for weight loss?
absolutely it does. In 2013, we did some work down at University of Alabama, Birmingham, and it has, I think, the second highest obesity rate, second to Mississippi in America. So it's really simple, Amy. When we're stressed out, our brain secretes ghrelin. Ghrelin is a hormone that tells us to feed me. But I just ate. I don't give a shit. Feed me now. Okay? When you are satisfied and when you are not stressed, your brain secretes leptin. Hmm, that means I'm sated. That means I don't want to go get the Ben and Jerry's or whatever. So we know this. Intuitively think about the last when you travel and you're under stress. We make poor food choices. When we're stressed, we don't sleep well. Our metabolic processes slow down. As we age, right? I can look at a stick of butter and gain 5 pounds. I'm like, wait a second, I didn't eat it. So there's a lot of things against us as we age. But stress is kind of the nefarious evil of all things that are challenging for us. First of all, it creates 95% of all disease. Secondly, it has issues with our interpersonal conflict, with our ability to feel good about ourselves, our self-confidence, our clarity. But the weight loss, it's a no-brainer. You handle stress, you handle the decisions you make. you handle the craving. You handle stress, you handle complex trauma. You handle stress, you handle the craving, the dopamine imbalance that's regulated for addiction. Everything's stress modulated, folks. That's why when you go to a monastery, you don't see monks beating the shit out of each other. They're not fighting, they're not yelling. No, they're in a state of present in the moment without judgment. So if we can manage our stress, the human species has a chance to succeed. We don't manage our stress. We're seeing what it's like. We're all emotionally sabotaged. We're all holding on by a thread. And 4 years post COVID, our central nervous systems are exhausted because of all the changes we had to go through, all the resilience that was put upon us, all the adaptive behavioral changes we had to make. We're all exhausted and we know it and we feel it and we see it. We don't really understand it, but we know something's not right.
Yeah, I love it. That whole idea of that balancing of the autonomic nervous system and your body getting to a state of balance or homeostasis. I mean, so whatever kind of issue you're dealing with. So if it is sleep, if it is hunger, if it is weight, if it is, your body will figure out, because it's the best doctor on the planet, right? To figure out through balance, through sleep and reduction in stress, to balance things out so you don't have those cravings, things like that. I know, Cole, you got a question too. Coral, go ahead, hon.
Hey, thank you very much. I have NuCalm. I've been using it for a little while. Do you have to put on a headset and lay down to do the sessions, or can you just put it in the background?
Okay.
And will it
So
work?
for rescue or power nap, where you're really trying to restore on a cellular level, it's imperative that you find a safe place, eye mask, and lay down with headphones. We receive billions of packets of information. Our visual cortex is about 80% of our cerebral cortex. So we're getting too much information through our eyes for you to get into a state of deep cellular restoration. So for any of the other products, let's not worry about that in the moment. For rescue or power nap, it is imperative that you actually give yourself that opportunity to rest and heal. Now, there are two ways to present your brain with an auditory signal. One's called binaural beat or binaural signal processing, where you're tricking the brain by using disparate frequencies in each ear. Must have a headphone. The other way is called isochronic waveform, where you can use a tonality ambiently through the airwaves to present the brain with a tone. So the beauty of what we've created and the ingeniousness of Dr. Holloway, all of our tracks, all 192 hours of patented software use both forms. What does that mean, Coral? It means that NuCalm will have an impact. It's a magnitude of strength. So for me, I'm not going to have headphones on all day listening to focus. My ears will get hot, my cranium will get sore. So I will get the benefit just with a speaker. But if I need it to be profound and where I can't escape, headphone. So there's a magnitude of strength. But for the key therapy to take care of ourselves, to be there for the ones who love us and need us the most, you need that 20, 30 minutes. Just unplug, do your thing like a chicken wing, and then get up
One
and
more quick question. I know you said to do the rescue daily, but just for an everyday, I see on our app that tells you what each person does on there. Do
yes.
you kind of figure out your own little thing of what you use all day long, or is there one that you recommend to start with, like do a rescue and then do, you know?
Awesome question. Every human on earth, from stage 4 cancer to the healthiest humans on earth, we recommend begin your NuCalm journey with rescue. Why? I'm 56 years old. If I didn't have NuCalm, I've accumulated 56 years of stress. I've normalized a lot of it. I don't even know how dysfunctional my cellular health is. So you start every NuCalm journey with rescue because that's balancing the autonomic nervous system. Like Tony said, your body is a miracle. It's a closed loop ecosystem. It knows how to take care of itself. It's our freaking monkey mind that overrides our body's natural ability to heal. So it's all the amygdala and the primordial midbrain piece. Rescue every day. From there, Coral, it's really up to you what your jam is. The typical kind of productive human being is if I get up in the morning and I didn't sleep well, I immediately get back in bed and I do a 20-minute power nap or a 30-minute rescue. And it's like genius. You wake up, you're like, wow, I feel amazing. and you go about your day. Some people replace coffee with Ignite, which I think is great because there's no acidity with listening to physics. And then they'll do focus during the day. When they go to work out, pre-workout and during a workout, they'll use Ignite. Then after they work out, professional athletes or whatever, they'll do rescue after they work out because they built up so much lactic acid. So it's really a recovery afternoon piece. And then at night, everybody uses deep sleep. 7 of the top 10 tracks around the world are deep sleep. We're doing about 1.3 to 1.4 million minutes a day around the world. So it's easy for me to see in a meta-analysis, okay, sleep is profoundly impacting everybody. Deep sleep and rescue are the top 10 products. So, but it is up to your biorhythm, what you want out of this. This is a tool. It's a very predictable, reliable tool, but all it is a tool to facilitate what you want.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Jim, you got time for a couple more questions?
I do.
Okay, Keisha, go ahead, my dear.
Hello, thank you so much for taking my question. My sound had went out, and I heard when you were saying it was helping with stage 4 cancer. Can this also help with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis?
Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so maybe 50 years ago, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, all these immunosuppressive diseases of our gut didn't really exist. Why? Because we didn't live the way we live today. You know, food companies started hiring neuroscientists about 4 decades ago. Now, why the hell would a food company hire a neuroscientist? Because they can engineer excitatory neurotransmitters and neurotoxins, glutamates. You can't eat just one Dorito, can you? So they've been kind of polluting our body and creating a lot of acid. Then you combine stress with that, and all of us are flooded with cortisol in our microbiome. And daily levels of cortisol and metabolic acidosis from our food supply creates these immunosuppressive diseases in our gut that manifest into Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis. I mean, it wasn't Don Henley. Glenn Fry from the Eagles died from worrying. What? Now, was he a control freak? Yeah. Was he an asshole? People say he was. But so what? He died from worrying because he had too much cortisol in his gut and he had ulcerative colitis. It's shameful. So this will have a dramatic impact on the enteric brain in your gut. We have a brain in our gut. There's a lot of connective tissue from your gut to your brain. And when we're stressed out, you'll notice, hey, I'm not hungry right now. No, you're not, because you have cortisol in your stomach. So this will dramatically improve that. On the cancer side, it makes me so overwhelmed with what we do for cancer. We work with some really cool people. I work with the best athletes in the world. I work with elite military, FBI. The best work we do is cancer. You know why? Because they're scared. They're confused. They're overwhelmed. They're medical oncologists, they're surgeon, they're radiation oncologists. The system's messed up. It's just a mess. We get them when the medical oncologist has already said, hey, go get your affairs in order. In 2014, we founded the Comprehensive Cancer Wellness Program with Dr. Janet Ranicky, Dr. Rao, Dr. Michael Gallitzer, Dr. Julie Taguchi. And for the last 11 years, we've helped thousands of people stay alive. And I tell people straight up, I said, NuCalm doesn't cure cancer. Your body can do that. But when you got diagnosed, you were so overwhelmed with catecholamines and cortisol and stress and fear and worry and self-loathing and confusion. You're literally are accelerating the disease state and the end of your life. So what do we do with NuCalm? We give you peace of mind and cellular restoration during the day with rescue and sleep at night. That combination takes literally like a week to put you in balance. 3 months ago, I do the program every month. And we started the program, and Dr. Ranicky, who's just an incredible, just an angelic force of nature, she said, hey, Jan, we have a special guest today. And she announced her name and said, do you remember her? I said, I do. She said she was at our first program 11 years ago. She was given 30 days to live 11 years ago. We didn't cure cancer. Her body can do that. We all have cancer in our body right now. Okay? But you have killer cells in your body. So when you're not stressed and you sleep well, the killer cells know how to do their job and they kill the cancer cells before they proliferate. What feeds cancer? Stress and sugar. So we have had incredible success, and you'll see that online. You'll see a lot of videos and articles, and yeah, it's pretty incredible. Again, everything's stress modulated, people. So you get rid of the nefarious little bugger called stress, things get better emotionally, spiritually, physically, all your health challenges. It doesn't mean we're going to live to be 220 years old. I hope not. I don't want to be 220 years old. I'm 56. My body's already falling apart. Get me to 80, get me to 90, give me a good quality of life. But just keep me from being inflamed every day and, feeling crummy.
Yeah. Shelly, come on, hun.
Hey, Jim, thank you so much. Tony always talks about stress too, but my question is actually for both of you. I think I heard Tony say don't use Bluetooth, and you've said a few times use headphones.
Ah,
Is there, I guess I'm a little confused on that, if you can help me.
Well, there was a day when there was a day when
at all.
headphones were just headphones, but so now it's a Bluetooth. But yes.
So
Right,
Shelley,
right.
so Shelley, the world wants convenience and will sacrifice health for
Yep.
convenience, right?
Yes, they will.
Almost every headphone you buy comes with a wire. They don't even market it anymore. It's not even part of the kit. But when you open up your headphone, it's there. So we recommend the Sony MX-1005s for two reasons. One, you don't need to be radiating your brain with Bluetooth. And secondly, it's lossless. So any type of headphone with a wire, there you go.
And great. That's a great question, though.
Okay, thank you both very much.
Yes, enjoy. Dr. Shelley, I can't wait to hear your question.
All right, I'll make it quick because I'm like super stoked with all of this because I've been like talking about this and seeing all of this for like 2100 years. But so if a doctor prescribed either the monthly or the annual plan for their patients to listen to, would
Yes.
they be able to submit that to their insurance company to claim it?
I don't know. When we were a medical device, yes, and it was under transcranial direct current stimulation, whatever those codes were. I've seen HSA, FSA. I've seen some medical. We do have psychiatrists. That's not true. You're right. We do have psychiatrists that do prescribe it, and insurance does pay for it. But each insurance company is different and unique. So I don't really have a blanket answer for you. And Shelley, to be honest with you, I don't suffer fools well, and I don't deal with bureaucratic ignoramus, ego-driven profiteers like insurance companies.
I
So
don't either, but I was just thinking for some of my patients, like I know
yes.
with my services, they can use their FSA or HSA
And they probably
because
can
of
for
how
this
I'm
as well.
coded being an alternative therapy. So that's how I was thinking. Or even if they had a prescription, they could then write it off on their taxes at the end of the
Yes.
year.
Yes. And
Okay.
we've heard of all of them.
All right.
And it's kind of hit or miss and hither and thither. At some point, I do think I don't think that the zeitgeist of insurance companies are going to wake up and have a bout of consciousness, but I do think there are ways for us to get it to insurance, especially because it's a lot more affordable and accessible and easier to use than it used to be. So,
Love it. Thank you. Amy, another one?
Yes, I do. Thank you for calling on me. Does it help with Alzheimer's?
yes, it does. Now, Alzheimer's, well, interestingly enough, Rudy Tanzi, who's a neuroscientist and a researcher at Harvard, I first met him like 7 or 8 years ago, and he'd been doing a lot of research on high frequency and how high frequency, specifically 40 hertz in gamma, can help reduce amyloid plaque and help with neurodegenerative disease. I wouldn't say, hey, use NuCalm and it'll change kind of the depreciation of the brain. I wouldn't make that claim. But here's what I do know, and we've known this for years. Any disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, any neurodegenerative disease, Parkinson's, even ALS, the lifestyle, the confusion, the insecurity, the social, everything in their life is all predicated on stress. And the more stressed they are, the more symptoms. So if we resolve the stress, if we make them happier, healthier, more balanced in their state, disease or not, everything's better. And we've seen some really fantastic things happen. There was a gentleman I lectured to a group of authors in Vegas in 2021, And this guy came up to me. We had a recovery lounge there, and he had Parkinson's, like demonstrably really high level of Parkinson's. And he did NuCalm 2 days in a row. And the second day he came up to me, he started crying. He hugged me. His name was Terry. And he started crying. He looked at me and said, "Jim, I haven't had any shakes all day." It's not a miracle. Stress modulates, exacerbates all diseases. There was a radio jockey who used to have 11 million followers, and he got MS. And there's an emotional component to MS, and you'll see historically people with MS typically have a history of anger management issues. Okay, so there's an emotional psychoneuroimmunology component to MS. And I asked him that. I said, "Hey, do you have a history of anger?" He said, "Well, I kind of do, but my dad was an angry drunk." I said, "Well, that was probably the manifestation of the MS." I said, what were you like before? Like if you had stress and stuff before MS, what was life like?" He said, "I fake it till I make it." "What's it like now?" He said, "Jim, when I'm stressed, my left arm won't work."
Mm,
It's unbelievable. So
yeah.
we didn't cure MS. We didn't create myelin sheaths to the issues, the neurological issues. What we did was we managed the stress response. And when you lower the stress response for every disease state, you have less symptomology, even with migraines. People can have horrific migraines. They know their triggers, but you start modulating your autonomic nervous system. You start relaxing and managing your stress. And guess what? The frequency and the magnitude of the migraines diminish significantly. So again, it all comes back to that holy grail. Take care of stress, and you will be in command and control of who you want to be and how you want to live, as opposed to you don't manage stress, you deny it, you run away from it, it will find you and it will torture you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm playing a tape of my childhood. I grew up in a very stressful, without really knowing I had stress. It just was very tension filled because my stepfather used to yell at me every day. And I sucked my thumb and I peed the bed till I was 12. And the day we left, never sucked my thumb and never peed the bed. My brother used to stutter, never stuttered the day we left. That stress was removed. So it's just amazing if all we're doing is combating stress or the amount of stress we're exposed to, and we're doing it with something as simple as taking a time out for 20 minutes during the course of a day and playing this thing at night. You guys, I'm telling you, this particular product is the product you will have forever. And it's the product that I feel in Shopley is the one that you guys should be talking about the most because it works 100% of the time. 100% of the time, right? And so, Coral, with you, make sure you have your eyes covered if you're doing it during the day. At nighttime, have it play in the background. You guys, you have a product that you don't have to help, you don't have to hype up. You just got to say, you know what? Give yourself a 30-day trial of this. Like, get it for 30 days and tell yourself that every day you're going to give yourself this gift. Listen to it, turn it on at night, and watch what happens. That's how we should be blowing this up, you guys, because humanity an upgrade big time. And this is the easiest thing I've seen from any coaching I've ever done, from any manipulation of energy I try to do through meditation, through grounding. This is all in this app, you guys. It's the same thing that people make excuses for, that you can put their headphones on because that's what they do all day anyway, and they can have an experience.
Do we have a couple more minutes? I
Yeah, go
figured
ahead. Yep.
if you'll entertain me.
Yep.
Pictures worth 1,000 words, so I can tell you all the great people that use it, blah, 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 blah. But if I show you, that's kind of cool. So I'm not a fanboy. I get to work with the best and the brightest in the world. I rarely take photos. I find if I take photos of people, it diminishes my ability to help them. I don't want to be a fanboy. Let them take pictures with me. So, but along the 16-year journey, we have we've touched a lot of people. So I just sent a request to you to
You got
share
it.
my
You got
screen,
it. Yep.
and I will allow.
Can I take a picture of this or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
I will allow a picture to be worth 1,000 words. So let's see. Let me just. Can you see my screen?
I got you.
Let's enter full screen. You see this person just enjoying
Yes.
waking up.
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can.
By the way, your marketing is on point too. It looks very fresh and peaceful and joyful, just so you know.
Nice. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna have to, I think, hit each one. Here we go. Upper left, top wrestler in the history of American International Wrestling. Up there, you see my identical twin brother, David Poole, 4 minutes my junior. And in between the two of us is the illustrious Dr. Blake Holloway, the inventor of NuCalm. To the right of him, you see Nassim Haramein, the world's leading physicist out of Iran, with that whiteboard. Then you see us at the NFL Hall of Fame. You see me there with Kobe Bryant. On the bottom, you see Deepak Chopra, Mark Victor Hansen, the Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, The Rock, Vernon Davis. There's my twin brother and I in London. Here's some of our medical advisory. So we've had a medical advisory board since 2009, and I've done about 500 CME lectures all over the world, from the Pentagon to the Royal College of Physicians, you name it, we've done it. Here's for my 50th birthday. This is cool. I don't know if you Pink Floyd fans, but I was
Oh gosh.
a
Oh my
personal
God.
guest of Roger Waters for a week in Mexico, who'd been using NuCalm for a long time. That was pretty incredible. So up top there, I told you we trained the Golden State Warriors, Tony Robbins and I. This is the only time Tony Robbins ever looked small. So he's in the middle there, and he's 6'7", but he's surrounded by 7-footers. To the right there, that's backstage at Pink Floyd. Montel Williams, that's me at Tony Robbins' house. Ariana Huffington, Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Oz. On the bottom is us training the Washington Capitals together, NFL Hall of Fame. This is the training of the Warriors. So Tony personally wrote a letter to each of the players, and they each got a system. Of course, they won the world championship. Here's the Kinsman. There's Roger on tour. That's me downstairs in Mexico. Upper right is one of the world's leading special forces operator, sniper, Congressional Medal of Honor winner, new calming on a chair. This is us at the FBI hostage rescue team. So we do a lot of work in sports. Well, their locker room consists of Pelicans, Glocks, grenades, Kevlar, sniper rifles, protecting us. Upper right's Russia. Then we're at the CES, a bunch of events, awards, whatever. I did the keynote with Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade for Variety and Sports Illustrated. On the bottom there is in India, and I got to paint an elephant with my daughter's names, which was cool. Then you see a woman next to that one, and she's a UFC fighter. Deepak Chopra to the right is Zandwa Mandela, Nelson Mandela's grandson out of South Africa. Andrew Weil, Dr. Michael Gallitzer, a bunch of movie producers there on the left. Liv Schreiber, who did Ray Donovan. There's me with Kobe Bryant. There's Manchester City, me on NASDAQ. Here we're training the Chicago Blackhawks. There's Tito Ortiz, UFC fighters, Ben Greenfield. There's the top golfer in the world on his couch. There's Goofy, my favorite character there. There's Sean White, and there's a Daytona 500. There's SOFIC, which is the Special Forces Operations Command annual meeting. Let's see here. Jim Quick. So for you fans of Jim Quick, he and I have been friends for 8 years. Got some cool stuff going on there. On the floor on the bottom, you'll see that's at El Paso Border Patrol. So Special Forces operators. That's me in China lecturing there. Don Penny. So the guy on the bottom there, he's 91 years old. He lived in the White House for 40 years. He was a speechwriter for 5 presidents. His home was just filled with tchotchkes. It was absolutely incredible. His favorite president was Gerald Ford, and his favorite first lady was Lady Bird. And Don was such a delight. He's really clever and funny. He said, Jim, I love talking to you and I love learning about the brain. It's fascinating. Half the time I don't understand what you're talking about. But, to be honest with you, all I care about is when I do NuCalm, my kids think I'm funnier, my wife thinks I'm sexier. I love that. Thanks, Don. Here's the Neuroscience Summit. There's Jim Quick there in a hotel room. There's me at Tony's house, Super Bowl. A lot of sports stuff, I guess. There's Dr. Oz again. There's me in China on TV. That's a cool one on the upper right. That's at a recovery center in New York. Those folks have just run a marathon. And then some of the best work we do also is in Kenya. So we've donated $4 million of NuCalm to 5 universities. My wife and I have adopted 39 kids out of Kenya, mostly in university, but some in day school. The girl on the right, her name is Sharon. That's when she learned that we were adopting her. That breaks my heart. It's incredible. that we can do that, and that we have the opportunity to help these kids. That's the military there in Kenya near the Ugandan border. Jim Quick and I collaborated a couple years ago on a whole product line. That's me on the ice with Chicago Blackhawks. There's cardiovascular catheterization lab in the bottom right, a bunch of our doctors in the upper right. That's what the system used to look like. So when I told you it was 4 components, it was expensive. There was like 4 steps. It was gadgets. That's what it was. And it's us at the Kentucky Derby. And then, yeah, the Million Patient Challenge. So this is 10 years ago. That's what it used to look like. Here's Abu Dhabi. We just did Tony Robbins' Recovery Lounge for his Platts meeting in Abu Dhabi. So that's called the Recovery Lounge. Love that. That's pretty cool to take care of people in that fashion. There's a Variety Lounge. So I get to meet like 200 stars in a 5-day period. It was awful. Stars, their lifestyle stinks. They don't make any decisions for themselves. Their publicist or a manager hovers over them. So you just show up. You're like, wow. Not the lifestyle that you'd expect. And then more sports stuff. There's Montel Williams in the upper left. He does a lot of work with the veteran community. And then more military. On the upper right there is the world's leading statistical biophysicist, Dr. Chung Kang Pang. So for you that are interested in academics, he has over 64,000 medical citations, which is the currency of an academician, and it's probably more than most universities have collectively. He's one of the brightest minds in the history of mathematics, and he's the gentleman who did all of our research for the patents. There's a Brooke Burke there, powerful single mom at the time with several kids and a burgeoning career. And that's it. So there you go. Pictures worth 1,000 words.
Thank you so much, Jim, for obviously your friendship, your wisdom, and all that you do. And I know that this team now is armed to honor themselves, which this is a gift, you guys. This is a gift to you. So don't take this for granted. Use it. Become the best version of yourself, and allow yourself the opportunity to share it with others, because every person on this planet is dealing with stress at different levels, at different times of their life. I'm thinking of the stress my wife is dealing with right now, having to be the strong one in the family to tell everybody it's okay. She's, expending a lot of energy doing that. So you're going to need this device forever. It's been proven. So use it. And please, 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 please share it with those that you care about, okay? So, Jim, I thank you. By the way, everybody, Jim will be on Thursday night's vendor call. So if you want to hear more of this, or if you have people you want to bring onto that call, please invite them to come on to hear from Jim talk for, again, about this amazing product. So if you need to reach out to Jim, if you have any questions, go to the Shoply page, hit the contact button, and send him a message through there, and he'll get back with you with any questions you might have. Okay, so everybody good? I know we went long tonight. Goodness gracious, an hour and a half tonight, but hey, it's well worth it. And I, again, wanted to give you guys a gift tonight and arm you with something very, very special. So I'm going to take everybody off mute here. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give it up for Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah.
We
Thank you so
appreciate your
much.
time.
And
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Amanda, if she's still on.
Yep,
Thank you.
you're
And
welcome.
Rhonda, our love.
You guys go get NuCalm tonight. Don't think about it. You owe it to yourselves, okay? All right. Bye,
I
everyone.
got it.
Thanks, Jim.
Love it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.